It is Monday, May the 5th, 2025. This is The Warning. After 10 long years since the madness began, since Donald Trump descended his golden escalator in Trump Tower, denouncing Mexican Americans as rapists and murderers, finally, a question was put to him whether Donald Trump must follow the Constitution as the supreme law of the land in the United States. Now, the question put to Trump was put to him regardless and detached from the fact that twice he's taken a 35-word oath that swore to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. But when Kristen Welker asked him, the answer was,
your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said.
What is it exactly that Donald Trump thinks he is? King? Emperor? Führer? Duce? American dictator? Caesar the First? The American people are held hostage by Trump's malice, but also his sycophants, the weaklings, the corrupt and hollow men and women around him, political extremists, little Eichmanns, like Stephen Miller, like Carolyn Levitt. Do you ever get tired of these people screaming at you, screeching at you? They work for us. We are a government of the people, by the people, for the people. The Constitution of the United States of America is immutable. There is no debate. Yet, every day, the American people are subjected to, by corporate media companies, a theater of the absurd, where Donald Trump signs press releases, announces them as the king's decrees, and the media asks, can you do this? Do you have the authority? And in most every instance, the answer is no. Kristen Welker's question was weak, tepid, and the whole interview was a mess. She got steamrolled from beginning to end. Can you imagine Tim Russert asking a question to an American president? Do you have to follow the Constitution? Like, do you really have to put 2 pinches of salt into the stew? It's not a question. Donald Trump is obligated under the Constitution as president to obey the Constitution, period. He has sworn to preserve, protect, and defend it. We know that is meaningless. We know that he doesn't mean it. But the idea that it's a question, that he has to follow it, no. The United States Constitution is the law of the land. But let's be honest, over 10 years, in thousands of exchanges with the American media, Donald Trump has never, not once, been asked a serious or probing question about the freedom of speech, the right to dissent, the freedom of religion, the separation of powers, the checks and balances, the separation of church and state. Donald Trump has never been asked any questions about the cornerstones of the American civilization built up over 250 years. Not one thoughtful, deep, penetrating, probing question on any of these issues. And this, at the core, closes the case on the putrid American corporate media that loves to give each other trophies and awards. These reporters who celebrate each other inside their clique in Washington, D.C., detached from the lives of ordinary people from coast to coast who are paid millions and millions of dollars a year to hold power to account, have done just the opposite. Why can't Kristen Welker hold her ground? Let's watch.
Prices are already going up on some popular items, tires, strollers.
This is such a dishonest interview already. Prices are down on groceries. Prices are down for oil. Prices are down for all energy. Prices are down at tremendous numbers for gasoline.
Trump's greatest vulnerability is his need to be seen, to be on television. Vladimir Putin doesn't need to psychologically engage the media every day. He's simply content with the power. Trump needs the attention, and so does his team of incompetents. They have to perform for their ringmaster, who judges them appearance to appearance. So the way to defeat this, the way to oppose it, the way to end it is to exploit the answers to tough questions and show the American people who they are. But over and over and over again, the American media refuses flatly to do its job. How many interviews are like Terry Moran's regarding Donald Trump? 1 out of 250? Or is it 1 out of every 5,000?
But wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice.
It is very rare when somebody has the intellectual grit, the stamina, the emotional wherewithal to hang with Trump and push back on the lies. Toughness is required in this moment, but Donald Trump is met over and over and over again by weakness from his political opposition, who thinks the question of whether a man can be sent out of the country to a concentration camp is inconvenient for Democrats because, well, let's face it, he has brown skin and he's not overly sympathetic. But the bottom line is this. In the United States, even Hannibal Lecter would get to stand in front of a judge. Everybody in this country, no matter what they do, how evil they are, the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst gets to stand in front of a judge. Do you know why? It's what keeps all of us safe. It keeps the government jackboot from coming down on our necks. The Fifth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment are not up for debate. American rights and freedoms do not flow from the whims of Trump. The American system is founded on the core principle and belief that our rights do not come from men, they come from a higher power. And the story of America has been the story of the fight to expand the idea of freedom to include everybody it was excluded from on the basis of, well, their skin color was different, or their nationality was not English, or that their religion was not Protestant. And over centuries, through sacrifice that beggars the imagination, our country has changed. It has become more free. Can you imagine the opportunity to sit for an hour in this year with the founders of the United States? George Washington did not live to the year 1800. He died in 1799. Jefferson and Adams died within minutes of each other on July 4th, 1826. Old men on the 50th anniversary of the American Revolution. Can you imagine the opportunity to tell them what we've become, to show them the picture of the 44th president, Barack Obama, to point at the moon and say there's an American flag on it, to tell them that this country fulfilled the vision of Marquis de Lafayette, who said at its birth, when the white flags went up over the British lines at Yorktown, that humanity has its victory, liberty has its country, that we became a light unto the world, the shining city on the hill, a transcontinental nation of 352 million free people made up of all of the world's people, where every language is spoken commonly every day. A country that has fed more people, cured more people, liberated more people, and done more good in the world than all of the other nations put together from the beginning of time. And the Constitution endures. It remains the supreme law of the land. It has been expanded. It has been changed. It has been amended as they envisioned, and it has spread freedom everywhere. Can you imagine the look in their eyes, that their vision, their dream, what it became? The United States of America. And Donald Trump doesn't know if he has to follow the Constitution. Donald Trump is not our king. He is an untreated psychiatric patient, a megalomaniac who is decomposing, who is unraveling. And he is surrounded by hollow men and women, little Eichmanns, sycophants of unprecedented vileness, who will do anything, say anything, lie to anyone at any time to keep tasting the power that he has let them feel. The corruption is unspeakable. The American people, ordinary folks, their life savings, their futures, their dreams, they're unraveling. The American economy will be annihilated for tens of millions of people as this madness fully takes hold. All the while at the private clubs in Washington, the party rolls on and on and on. This is the greatest episode and period of theft, stealing, taking, corruption in the history of the country. Donald Trump is in open, outright contempt of the law, of the Constitution. And it's going to get worse, much worse. It's going to get worse because Donald Trump is attacking the Constitution, and the Constitution is being unevenly defended by the Schumercrats, by this guy who sends strongly worded letters and thinks he's winning. Donald Trump, his presidency, is a disaster. It's a catastrophe. And the pain of it, the shockwaves of it, haven't reached American shores yet. But there is nothing that can be done to stop it. The country, its institutions, have been fundamentally hijacked by people who do not believe in them, who hate the idea of America, despise the freedoms, reject the equilibrium in the distribution of power that is the genius of our system. What they are trying to do is to topple something that is sublime, deeply moral, and of the most profound importance for every person in the world. Freedom. And freedom in America is under siege. It's under assault by a no good, evil man. And make no mistake, he is evil. And anybody who can't see the danger at this point, well, they're probably the ones in the gravest danger. And nobody should be in danger in America because of America's politicians. A terrible, terrible crisis has come. 25 years of political failure, building upon each failure, one block on top of the next, has led us to this moment. And now, what has come before does not matter much. Words like conservative, liberal, progressive, they have no meaning. America is divided between two camps, those that remain faithful to the Republic and the Constitution, and those that wish to burn it down. This weekend at Mar-a-Lago, a pardoned terrorist had dinner at Donald Trump's invitation. The fascist thug, the Proud Boy leader, Enrico Tarrio. These are dangerous people. They hate our country. They are domestic enemies. And they are trying to take something that does not belong to them from all of our children. There will be an election in November of 2026, and these people will be crushed at the ballot box. They will be rebuked, but there is so much suffering between then and now. There is an evil that has been let loose by Donald Trump, and it will not be easily contained, nor will it be easily buried. The corruption he has set loose, the meanness that he has set loose, the extremism that he has set loose, all of it is on a rampage. Donald Trump is what he is. And now, at long last, we can see him clearly. This is the warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is the warning. I invite you to join this community where I promise to be honest, blunt, and direct about what is happening in this country. America is in crisis. Follow and subscribe to this channel and on Substack. Thank you.